Topical material, or material about current events, is something that some comics specialize in while others avoid it altogether. I think most comics try to work in a little bit here and there. For example, right now the World Cup is going on, and I have a few bits about it. One of the benefits of topical material is that it can really up the energy of the crowd.
I've watched way more than yes.
Because you're talking about something that they've probably been talking about that day with their friends, and it helps you connect with them.
I've got World Cup, kind of a cough, really not quite fever.
It's also fun because it gives you a break from your normal material, because you want to work the bit in as many times as you can while it's still relevant.
World Cup fever. Anyone else? Yeah. A couple, three.
I personally like to try some topical material now and then because I feel it loosens me up for the rest of my set. For example, in a recent set I opened with my World Cup bit, and then later when someone started applauding too early in a song, I think it was easier for me to roll with it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to preemptively make you clap. Now it's awkward. Oh, it's like when you say goodbye on the street and then the person walks the same direction as you. I'm not saying goodbye again.
Another thing I like about topical material is that it kind of validates whatever I've been doing lately, even if it's just sitting on my butt watching soccer. Sweet.
Exactly, yeah, it's way more fun. The American guy, here's how bad he was.
You work on the material quickly, and there's a beautiful window when the material is polished while still being timely.
He actually says, I wonder how the Iranian team felt driving past the monuments here in Nuremberg knowing that their president is a Holocaust denier. I'm like, dude, did you just call the entire team Nazis? Because their president is a douchebag? If our team has to answer for our president? What are the other countries announcing our game? Like, oh, McBride goes for Beasley, and like the weapons of mass destruction, there was nothing there. Like, oh, the U.S. is called offsides again, the referees aren't buying their argument for preemptive striking.
The problem with topical material is that the clock is always ticking. For example, the World Cup final is on July 9th, and after that, the material's just going to start to get dated. Some comics try to keep a topical bit in their act by updating the segues, because if it's a good bit, a comic has a really hard time letting go of it. For example, at the end of the summer I can say, "Did you have a good summer? Anybody watch the World Cup?" And then at the end of the year I can say, "2006 was a crazy year! Remember the World Cup?" But the longer you try to keep a bit alive, the more pathetic it sounds. Our current president's crazy, but not as crazy as that Bill Clinton. Remember that whole Monica Lewinsky scandal? Here's my take on that. You see? It's just sad, isn't it? Oh, great show. My favorite segue into an old bit was a comic I saw who was talking about being at the doctor's office and reading all the old magazines in the waiting room, and he actually used that to segue into a bit about Lorena Bobbitt. Most comics realize that the same bit can be great while it's current, but lame years later. It's nobody's fault, it just happens. And that's why sooner or later, you have to let the bit go. And that's why it's hard to specialize in topical material, because usually if you write a good evergreen bit, you can use it for years. I personally don't like the term evergreen to refer to non-topical material. I just think it's a dumb word, but it's an industry expression, what can you do? Well, I gotta go. The semifinals are going to be on soon, and I'm gonna try to enjoy the games, knowing that while the game clock is ticking up, the life of my World Cup bit will be winding down. You know, a topical bit is like a person in that movie Logan's Run. Just doomed. You gotta enjoy it while it lasts.
Decíamos la clave de la victoria antes, anticipamos esto que le podía pasar a Ecuador.